Hi, this is Dinkar from Growell Oilers Consulting and Kabir Learning Foundation. I would like to take this opportunity to share something exciting we did for a company called 3i Infotech during a sales conference for the year 2017. Normally, when we talk about sales or a business conference, what comes in our mind is a huge amount of discussion about numbers, strategies, what we need to do better, what went wrong. While all this is important, we also thought it's a good idea to soften ourselves by meeting an inspiring entity which demonstrates not only care and concern but an outstanding business proposition. With this idea, we all met. People from different parts of the globe came to this Silicon Valley, Bangalore in April 2017. Let's hear them out.
My name is Krish. I look at world as an amazing experience. Each person has a certain desire, a wish, accomplishment that he wishes to do, and it's nice for him to achieve that and live in an inclusive way. So we live in a very cocooned life, far from actual reality, and the more we have certain level of inclusiveness, better it will be. So I hope this engagement gives us a realm to a new life. Thanks.
In my view, we have to give back to the world where we stand today, and we have to work toward humanity and for all other people.
I think as professionals, we guys who live in Metro live a very different life, and to come to this place and to understand what is happening on the reality in the world and to get a different perspective, I think that's very important. That keeps us grounded to the realities of the world. So I think that's fantastic.
More like a jungle today, survival of the fittest. But I think there's enough on the plate for everybody. But I think everybody can live peacefully in this world and enjoy and have their share.
My way of looking at it, it's full of ups and downs, challenges. But yes, there are lots of possibilities. If one door is closed, one door can be open also. Don't wait for someone else to open the door for you. You need to open it.
जिंदगी एक मुअम्मा है, समझने का न समझाने का है, को है, ख्वाब है दीवाने का. Life is a puzzle. जिंदगी एक मुअम्मा है और life is a riddle. Nobody really understands it. समझने का न समझाने का. You have to understand it. It's not something that somebody can teach you. का है, को है. It's all about इसका, उसका. It's all about possessions. So we all get trapped in this materialistic worlds. And for the dreamer, it's a khwab, it's a dream. So we have to just figure out what it all is.
In each one of us, we have positives as well as negatives. So we should work on the positives and overcome the negatives, and we should apply the same in our lives to ensure that we walk in the successful path. That's what I look at.
The world provides enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. So let's do something which is needed.
According to me, world is full of all relationships, and we share relationship with all these trees, all these people around here. So we should keep an eye on these relationships. We should nurture this relationship and create synergies between each other and give back to the world as best as possible.
God created this world for man and woman to enjoy, and that was one of his greatest creations, that he created world. And now the world has become so fast-paced that everything changes within a matter of minutes. What you think becomes a process and becomes a product, and it's becoming materialistic.
I believe we are just a tiny bit in this very complex world and part of the universe.
World is actually growing very fast. So we all should be very positive to fit with this changing world.
And I would just like to share an African thought, African proverb rather, that if you want to go faster, then you go alone. And if you want to go further or far, then go with the team, or go with the flow, or go with the family, or go with the people around you.
Obviously, the world is a beautiful place, but my way of looking at it is like two sides of the coin. Like one side is obviously which we have created, the artificial one, like the professional, where maybe we might wear some masks and try to do our duties, and other side is where we actually take care of our personal life, our family. So I personally try to balance both.
What I feel is world is quite competitive and is continuously evolving. But during the process, what I feel is we are moving away from the reality that actually is.
I look at it from this way, that it's learning, unlearning, and then relearning. And the source of learning not just comes from the classroom or from our superiors and the people we work with. It comes from a lot of places like we have come here today.
World is a beautiful place and we have a lot to explore, we have a lot of opportunities, but we should maintain a balance. We should not, the child within us should not fade away. We should explore this world. God has created this for a reason, so we should travel, we should explore.
For me, world is a very large place and our thoughts should not restrict only from the mankind. Mankind is one species. There are millions and millions of species living, but this one mankind has been able to create the maximum damage possible to the world. And within that mankind, there's a stark difference between haves and not haves. And the haves is very small, and the not haves is very big. And haves continue to damage the mankind and the world.
Okay, so what we are going to do for the next 1 hour possibly is to go and interact with the caretakers and observe a lot of things about what they say, and as some of my friends said, it's a place for us to get some kind of a trigger.
I observed one thing from 2-3 children I interacted with, that they have something special. They are very smart. You know, if they were looking at my watch, one of the child was like this. Okay, so that is, they have something, you know, hence they are called special. So they are nowhere less or weak. So I believe they are special in their own way. They have some quality which we don't have.
I feel after seeing this, I felt that we have been sort of living in a different kind of a world, or rather we feel that we want to move away what the reality is or what the other world is.
Maybe when I saw it, like, it was again two sides of it. It was really sad and touching to see them, but at the same time it was encouraging to see that the way they're fighting are still really positive. Most of them were actually wearing smiles on their face.
Whoever would have been the initiator of this whole initiative, he would have dreamt first that this is possible. Because if you look at kids individually, they are good for nothing. I can't really afford them. But as a thought, that person must have thought, no, I can make some difference. Let me start with one kid. Let me start with one small room. Let me see what the response is. And probably in coming times, I'll get people who get along with my feelings, with my understanding, my expectation. And this is where we stand today.
I think it was a very moving experience. When a couple of colleagues of mine waited outside, even I had the same thought that I can't take it anymore. I don't want to see this, the sadder part of life or sadder part of the world. But then I thought, no, if I can't see this, how these people are living it, and how these other people who are actually not related to them and are taking care of them. So even if I can't see it, it's a shame on me.
I really think that we crib a lot. After seeing them, I really learned two things. Anybody can fight against the odds. You should have a will. And I especially hats off to the team who is managing them. And most important thing is the confidence level they have. That they are still trying for each and every individual in a different manner. They are still understanding them and going for things. And they are really not sure about tomorrow.
When we see all these things, our troubles, our challenges seem very little. And then it gives us to come more further. So.
After coming out from there, three things came out: hope, humility, and humbleness.
I'm very weak-hearted. I couldn't go inside. I was standing outside with Vivek. And the moment I came out, Rohit said, and as Virag also said, कि हो गई business class में travel करना, hotel जाना, I-20 बड़ी गाड़ी चाहिए, right? This is what life is. And as even I said, learning comes from everywhere, not just from the classroom or from the boardroom or the books that we read, but from people around, and meeting people like them.
Made me feel how selfish I am. I'm not sure if I can talk for all. How selfless they are and how selfish we are. So as you said, will and hope is what they are living on.
We have got one life to take and one life to give back. So up to now, we have been taking, at least I have been the one who has been only taking from life. It's a high time to give back something to the society.
Such an amazing selfless love, and affection. Without that, obviously, there is no orientation, For them, it's actually pure selfless love, The kind of affection, these people are taking care of the children is unbelievable.
So all we need to do is I think this is a reality check, like most of us agreed. So we have to consider that we are the part of the haves. They are the part of the not haves. So I think we, in whatever way, individually or with some association or something, we should give back to the not haves and see how well we can coexist. So the greed portion comes down and sharing grows. That's what I would take.
Complete riot of emotions but loss of words. While I have a friend who runs a similar thing in Bombay, she runs a NGO for the autistic children. But seeing was believing. I mean, I never would have imagined what they would be going through on a day-to-day basis. So I think let's cut the chase. I think we are fortunate enough to be even standing here and saying whatever we are saying. Let's do what we need to do and much more to give back to the world. That's my learning from this. Thank you.
Hi. I have a couple of takeaways. One, it was clearly a moving experience. When we first said and saying we'll have an intervention where people let their guards down, I think it's touched the chord in most of us. So hats off to you. In terms of takeaway, I think I have 3 takeaways. Right from the leadership, where we saw Sister Philomena, the kind of positivity and radiance she had was amazing. It was after I thought after being with children like this, it will be very demoralizing, and wonder how she keeps herself motivated and be so cheerful. And that's a sign of hope. Just seeing her, I think, can inspire quite a few. Saying second thing that I noticed is with whatever little resource they have, they're doing a fabulous job. I mean, and like what Sanjeev was saying, no one was scribbing, complaining. They were just doing their job. And so, many times in corporate we keep saying, no, I am understaffed, I need 5% more. Here, it's like one day, if work job needs to be done, it needs to be done. If people are there or not, they end up. So that was the second learning in terms of... I think third thing, more than any larger purpose or philosophy, I think they're just focused on what they need to do and carrying on. It's no major intellectual analysis they are doing, how I'm going to grow my business, how I'm going to... They're just focused on, just doing their work. So staying focused is, I think, one big takeaway I've got.
Have you observed that we are normally kind to have-nots? We are normally kind to have-nots, even if we reach some level of trigger. But interesting thing is, what makes us careful when it means to be good to haves? For example, what stops us from being good to the haves? One is to definitely impact the world, which is very different. That's Svantana. But is there something which we can learn from them and be better to the people who are blessed with everything?
Sa re ga ma pa ma ga ma ni da ni sa. Sa re ga ma pa ma ga ma ni da ni sa re sa.